Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here on day number 3 of us getting this place put together, getting the wiring squared away here for the shower light. And we have our bathtub right here that we're going to get that installed. And then we're going to put in our shower device and controls in here, put up our cement board, and get this all squared away. And start making this look like a shower. We're going to take this toilet up here and get it downstairs while I have Mike, and get the rest of the vinyl off the floor, so that way we'll be prepared to do the tile work and stuff. So another great day to be here working hard. Oh boy. So here's what we did. We use mold resistant drywall up here because it is a shower, so it will get moisture. So you can see where the old shower ended right there. So we ended up putting, another piece of Luan up here in place to keep this even. And then we'll put the tile backer right on top of all this. We framed up the wall over here so that way we carry it all up there. We've got our junction box right here because we had to extend. It's in the center of where the tub will be, our light fixture. The tub is 30 inches total, so that'll be right there in the middle. And we've got the framing up here for the closet. And of course we got that bathtub out, so feel pretty good about that. Tomorrow we'll finish we'll set the tub in here, and then we'll do the shower device, and then we'll go through and we'll get the cement board up on here, and we'll take the toilet downstairs. We'll get that up out of here because this is a new toilet, as opposed to the one that's downstairs, which is an original toilet. What we'll do is we will just change those out. We'll take the other one to the dump. But after pounding away at the bathtub, and then has to go down that hallway, down that steps, across the front porch, and then down another 6 steps into the truck. My old ass is whooped, so forgive me. I feel good about where we are, considering we just started this yesterday about 2 o'clock. I know it's not, like you always see on TV, 1 day bathroom. Well, they end up putting shit right on top of the other stuff. And see, that's one of those things that kind of bugs me when you have them go over top, back fitters. Excuse me, I'm not trying to bash bath fitters. But if you've got a mold-ridden bathroom, tile coming off the wall, you're just going to put something over top of it? No, that doesn't do it for me. It'll look good. It'll look good, especially if you're going to go, I guess, and sell it, but then you're leaving the problem for somebody else. One other thing we've got to do, too, because I'm looking. They've gone through here. For the most part, this floor is nice and stable. They've got there's no movement in here. There's plenty of, what you always want to do when you do tile is you want to have an 1.25 inch minimum sub base. And you want it to be glued and screwed and locked in. This floor is sturdy, doesn't have any movement in it. The only thing is as I look at this, where the bathtub sits, it's kind of high in that corner and it kind of comes downhill. So we're going to need to use some of the Luan and stuff and level this out a little bit before we set the bathtub in. That way we know we've got the right fall and it doesn't look like it's going downhill. So we're getting here. By tomorrow we should have the bathtub set, the plumbing done for it, the cement board put on here, and maybe start setting some of the tiles. Now we're going to be doing the floor tiles, of course. I asked her because all the floor wood goes long ways this way, but we're going to go crossways with this. And so we'll be using the bathtub as our straight edge, and this piece will be cut, and we'll put a threshold on it to make it okay, good people. This is day 2, and that's a wrap. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys. So we had a little bit of a problem, and I meant to show you guys. But the old bathtub actually went downhill. It's actually 3/4 inch difference on the other side. So what we ended up doing was we ended up putting, it's a 2x4 ledger that's over here that supports the tub on that side. It has a styrofoam base to help support it in the middle. And of course, then the rest of the weight goes on the exterior. We ended up being 3/4 of an inch low in that 5 foot, which is a big fall. That's almost handicap accessible fall. Definitely would be good for plumbing wise, more than a fall that you would need. Because you need 1/4 inch per foot when you're doing. No, actually it's not quite enough. Anyway, we ended up putting a 3/4 inch piece of plywood there. And then we ended up putting 2 pieces of 1/4 inch plywood in here, and then just down to a 1/4 inch. So it's supported and it is level. And let's see, where did our level go? Boom. So it's sitting perfectly level. Golden Richard, yes. Golden Richard's passed away at 73 years of age. So we're good to go here. Now, what we're going to need to do, because we've got the lip here on the bathtub, is we're going to take some of the cement board, and we're going to put some more of that, not cement board, oh my goodness. The plywood, that's actually a new version of it. That's a new tile backer that's lightweight and you can cut with the putty, with your utility knife. We're going to be using the glue on here to shim out the walls before we put the cement board on here. And that will get us, so that way we'll have true corners when we go down with the tile, because we're using the big tiles and stuff, and you don't want to have them kicking in and kicking out. You really want that to be true. And I'm going to need, you can see how far this part of this wall when they framed it up was off. So we're going to work on getting all that stuff squared away and plumb as much as possible. And then we'll get our cement board up on here. And this is a new type. I have not used this one before, but this is an ultra lightweight Go board, lightweight, waterproof, wall, showers, ceilings, and floors. Definitely a lot lighter than the Hardy Backer. And this is kind of like dense glass, I think. If you've ever seen like an exterior building when they're doing stucco work on it, or it's called EIFS actually, they end up using, it's like a yellow board, and it's a fiberglass board. That's made for the exterior. They put that up, and then they end up doing the whole mesh stuff on top of it, and they end up basically putting stucco on it. So this is a variant of that. And instead of having to use the cement cutting blade with the circular saw where you make all the toxic dust, this you can use your utility knife and cut. So this will make life a lot easier. Definitely a lot easier. And it's a lot lighter in weight. Because when I picked this up, I was like, I thought it was Hardy board. And I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? So that'll seal us up real good. We'll end up getting all of our corners and stuff together. So this will be really nice and well done. And we'll have, after we go to the store, because I need my fork, I didn't bring my twisting fork here. Because we got a deeper bathtub than normal, I need an extension for the waistline. But we're going to put water in here and double check and make sure that we're not getting water before we close it up. Because if we end up finding out that it's not right and it's leaking, we don't want to have to tear up the tile and everything else. All right, got to make a run to the store. Okay, so we do know we have water up here. We have the waistline hooked up. We're going to do a little water test to make sure that we drain and don't have any water leaking over there. And then we're going to hook up our shower device and finish getting the walls prepped for tile. This kicked my ass. I ain't going to lie to you. This really kicked my ass. All right, here we go. Pop up.
Nope. I don't have water.
Okay.
It's wet.
If that's the case, we're in good shape then.
Got it to fit?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. We got her on there. We're doing a water test now. Well, I tell you what, it's been kind of a rough day trying to get this bathtub set and everything in place, getting all the plumbing in here and all that, and making sure that our corners, now see, this is the thing that's, you got to keep key when you're doing this is, you want to make sure that your corners are true. If your corners aren't true, then that means you're going to end up having a problem. And see, what we're going to be doing is, we're going to be using big tiles. Okay, this happens when you do stuff one take. We're gonna be using big tiles like this. And you can see how nice and true that is in the corner, which is gonna make it easy when you're laying tile. There's nothing worse than if you end up not putting spacers, and you can see where I put this Luan spacer in here, glued it to the 2x4s, the studs and stuff, and then screwed it on, and then I was able to put the cement board on top of it. And you can see how nice and square those corners are, which will make your job a hell of a lot easier. Otherwise, you're kind of coping these in here. And then the problem is, especially when you're putting big tiles up, you'll see that there's like a little cup on it. But look at that. You couldn't get it more true than that. We had to, and again, this is one of those things that it doesn't look like there's much work that's been done, but to get these walls square in here in this old house, and the floor went downhill 3/4 of an inch. If we had just put the bathtub in at that 3/4 of an inch, then we would have had problems when we're trying to get this stuff square. But you can see that is dead on perfect for what we want to do here. So the only thing is, there's always one fitting when you're doing plumbing that you're missing. And I need a screw-in fitting here for my bathtub spout to go in. And then I can put this last piece of cement board up on here, and I'll go through and mud this up tonight. Put the corner beads up on here so that way it can set up. But unfortunately, I got to go to the store and pick up another piece to make that. But I'm very happy. It's one of those things that if you take your time on the front end, it'll be that much better on the back end. So I'm happy about that. All right. I'm not going to lie. This has been a very, very long day getting here. But I'm very proud of how this is. It's about 7 o'clock on Saturday night. But when I look at my corners, they are nice and straight all the way up. And it's about as close to plumb as it's going to be able to be. The water's back on for the shower. The shower devices all work. No leaks or anything like that. Before I go, I'm going to tape up the corners and the corner beads so that can set tonight. And then tomorrow, I can come in and start laying the tile out here. Now, we are using really big tile here, so we're not going to be able to go all the way up at one time. We're going to need to go ahead and do about half of that, let it rest, and then maybe I'll work on the floor some, let that dry, and come back and do some more. But definitely, you can see how that's coming along. You remember the blue bathtub. We've got the cardboard on top here to help protect it because we don't want to scratch it. But definitely opening this up all the way to the ceiling is change this completely. When we put the new light fixture in there, it's going to be really, really nice. All right, let's get this mudding done and get out of here, get something to eat. All right, we're going to call this a day now. We got our corner beads up in here. We've got this at least taped off. We're not worried about actually doing any more mud on the cement board down. We want to get the top edge finished in there. We'll block, of course, the tape line between the new drywall and the old one, as well as the corner bead stuff in here. But we have our new bathtub in here, and man, does that look so much better carrying it all the way up. I'm very proud of it. It's plumb, it's level, the corners are all nice and square, and it's going to be great. We'll be getting the tile up on here on the walls tomorrow and start working on getting the tile on the floor as well. So what I want to do is I want to have the tile line. It actually looks kind of good because the bathtub is about even with the edge of the door. So maybe we'll cut and make that there. We are going to have to take this door down and undercut it because it is too, I'm waiting on my drywall. It's too close to the floor. So we're going to need to do that. It'll be easier to take it off because we got to cut around the pipes and stuff in here as close as we can with that. All right, good people. That's the end of day number 3 of working on this old house. And I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.